Starsand Island's early access launch didn't exactly get off to a smooth start. It was plagued with one problem after another, from bots posting fake reviews on Steam, Kickstarter backers not receiving their keys, and questions over diversity and anti-cheat software. After nearly 2 months since the game first launched, imagine my surprise this morning when I awoke to check my notifications and controversy has hit the game yet again. So today I'm going to take a look at the latest news and see why exactly the developers have had to remove the game from the Steam store. Don't forget to like and also subscribe, but let's get into this. So at 3:35 a.m. UK time, the developers posted an announcement containing an update and a kind of apology in their Discord channel and across their social media platforms. This was titled Important Announcement, Game Content Adjustment and Temporary Delisting, which, if you looked at that when you've just woken up, does sound pretty serious. So I jumped out of bed and decided to read this thoroughly. The post itself starts with, due to an oversight during the planning phase, certain core elements of expression from a classic title were used without proper authorization within our minigame section. We sincerely apologize for this mistake. To address this immediately, we have taken the following emergency measures. So the first one is the Steam Store status. The Starsand Island Steam Store page has been temporarily delisted. We have already submitted a new game build with the unauthorized content removed for Steam to review. Once a review is complete, the game will be available for purchase and download again, and I can confirm I've ran over to the Steam page. There is no kind of evidence of it being on the store currently. There are DLCs which do kind of indicate that the game exists, but you can't actually view the main one, and if you go into your library and then click the store page, it just defaults you back to the Steam main page. 2. Compensation. To express our deepest regrets, we will be providing the Shining Star outfit set to all Islanders. This compensation will be released as a free DLC within the next 7 business days. And then number 3, we have data and progress. Once the new build is approved, you can simply update the game to continue your journey. While the unauthorized content will be removed, all of your previous game progress, save files, and in-game assets will be fully preserved. You do not need to worry about losing your data. That's good, and I'll touch more on that in just a moment. Internal improvement. We have already begun strengthening our internal review and auditing processes to ensure that such incidents never occur again. Lastly, we sincerely apologize to all Islanders for any inconvenience this may have caused. Thank you for your continued patience and understanding and support. Before I go any further, I just want to address some points, because if you are a player, I do not want you panicking thinking you've lost your game that you've paid money for, you've lost all your save game. You have not. So if you want to, you can still play the game that you have paid for. It will still show in your Steam library. I have tested this morning. I went into my Steam library, I opened up the game, and it was still running all fine. This point means that the game has been removed from the store side of things, so you can't go ahead and purchase it. Kind of they're halting any further sales. If you haven't yet purchased the game and you were kind of thinking about, this is obviously going to be a problem for you, and you're going to have to wait for the new build to be approved without the content that has caused the issue here. So the Steam page will then go live again once it has been reviewed. So if you still want to enjoy the game, you still want to play it, you 100% can. You are obviously going to get the prohibited or unauthorized content in the game still until they release that update though. So just bear that in mind. I don't think there's anything to worry about if you already have the game, aside from the wider picture here. But if you just want to purely enjoy the game, you still can. So what is the content that they are referring to that has caused the problem? So I believe, as they have made reference to mini game section, that they are talking about the arcade games that are available in the Chrono Arcade. In this shop, there are 2 games here, and these are games that players can enjoy as mini games, and you can play them with tokens. And these 2 games are Starblock and Foodie Bara. Starblock is itself, it is a Tetris-like game. Actually, I take that back. I removed the like. It is pretty much just Tetris. There isn't even any kind of adjusting the block styles here to be something cuter. It is very kind of classic retro. I would have thought that if they were going going to kind of put something like this in, they would perhaps have tried to like adjust it up a bit, maybe jazz it up. I don't know the full like copyright background of it as to what kind of elements, aspects they can fully change, but I do think that if you're going to do that, you need to make it kind of differential from the original product, but this felt very, very similar. The second game is Fudibara, which has again strongly been inspired by another game, the classic game Snake. If you owned a Nokia in the early 2000s, you will be more than familiar with this. You roam around the map collecting food to earn points, but the crucial twist in Fudibara is that you are actually a capybara and you just get longer the more food you consume. And the food you are collecting is kind of various colors of watermelons here. So there is some clear differences here. You're not a snake, although the gameplay kind of core elements do remain the same. You're not a snake running around collecting little bots. So I do think that they have done a bit of a better job with this one. Although I do have a 10-year-old law degree, I am not a practicing lawyer, and I definitely am not a copyright lawyer, but I have done some quick Googling, and as you can imagine, a game as iconic as Tetris is shrouded with protections, and aspects of the game are trademarked, so there is a chance that due to the developers making little to no adjustments to their version of the game, that this is perhaps the element that has caused the removal. Saying that though, both of these games do have kind of strong influences from previous games, so there is potentially, rightly, the chance that both of these are the problem here. No matter what the cause is though, the removal from the Steam store is obviously something that is going to hurt them financially, and it is definitely something that I imagine that they won't have wanted to do lightly, and in some ways maybe this is suggestive that there is something more serious going on behind the scenes. Maybe they have received some form of legal threat or maybe even action, so it would be interesting to know what exactly is going on behind the scenes. When it comes to matters like this, it is a little bit of a shame that they would have not thought about this and kind of do their due diligence on this matter, particularly as it's kind of been established now that perhaps Starsand Island isn't the indie game that it portrays itself to be. So if they do have a backing of a bigger company, then perhaps they have more resources available to do more checks like this. So I would have really hoped that this would have been something that kind of pinged up in someone's mind going, should we really be doing this? Should we not double check before we actually put this in our game? But apparently not. In their statement, obviously they did say that they are going to kind of do an internal review and audit this, so apparently it will never happen again. I really hope so. It's definitely a harsh lesson to learn. So what happens next? As they said, they have removed the problematic and unauthorized content from the upcoming build, and when this has been approved, players will be able to download the update version of the game, and then you'll just be able to continue your game as normal. Everyone's save files and in-game assets are all going to be safe. The only thing to kind of think about if you are an existing player is perhaps maybe you want one final look at the mini games, and there is also some rewards there that you can claim as doing the different kind of levels. So I would think about that, especially if you haven't yet got them, as some of the items are quite nice, like there is some outfits and things in there. So it is worth kind of bearing in mind. We don't know if they're going to outright remove all of these games, remove the connected rewards, so maybe that's just something to think about as a just in case kind of mechanism. I do think that they would kind of be a little bit silly to do that. Maybe they will still be there in some fashion, but just my little thought about what you could do just in case. And the final thing to go over from the announcement is the compensation. This always does make me feel a little bit icky. The developers have messed up, so it's kind of like, here's some free stuff to make everything okay again. But of course I will accept it, especially when it is just kind of an outfit. This compensation is the Shining Star outfit set, and as they said, they'll release it as a free DLC over the next 7 business days. So I would keep an eye out for announcements in the Discord, and also check the Steam page where they kind of put the new DLCs. These DLCs are really beginning to stack up, but maybe that's a topic for another video. Let me know what you think about this quite serious blunder in the comments. Should this have been spotted sooner by the devs? Do you think they have done the right thing by addressing it, and how they have addressed it, most importantly? I'll see you again soon with another video. Have a great rest of your day. Bye bye.